I think the best thing about forcing myself to be done with that bridge is that now I feel like I'm open to do more projects. And I just recently got this, which I'm super excited about, but I have a problem. My 3D printer situation, not good. 3D printer required for this. At least if you want the models. I think I can play with like paper and stuff, but I'm addicted to plastic. So, I'm gonna put the finishing touches on that bridge today. And then I'm gonna see if I can fix these 3D printers that have been sitting for years. So, we'll see how that goes. Well, I didn't finish this completely yesterday, but I got it to the point where almost all of the major stuff is done. And the only thing left is really just like block and shrubbery and stuff, which is fine. I'm happy with. The only thing is I need to make sure that I don't take way too long in this step, which is something that I've done in the past. So I'm just gonna knock this out super quick-ish, maybe a couple hours. I can't move, I can't breathe. Usually it's okay, but I'm starting to get anxious. There's too much going on, too much stuff. I'm about to knock something over. Oh, there's a big mess. Who said this Proxxon fence was useless?
It really is fine.
It's probably not fine. It's probably a problem. She's gonna fix it. Pretty good. At least this table. Probably don't want to see the rest of this room. Yeah, I can work with this. There we go. Much better. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so I have all these really cool flocks that I made, and there's a way that I saw like one dude that made model trains doing it, and since I did it, I don't think I'll ever use another method. If you have an old coffee grinder, like one of the like $10 ones, all you have to do is put sawdust in there with paint and just run it, and it's done. Like, you don't even have to hand mix it or anything, and you can just open it up, take a look at if it needs more paint or not, and if it does, then you add some. If it doesn't, you don't. And like a lot of these are with fluorescent neon paints, so if you put it under like a black light, it's really cool. And it'll kind of like show up like that, so you see like blues, and so I have all these like cool, unique colors of flock. They were like super easy to make, and I didn't have any sawdust at the time, so I went to Home Depot and I bought like one of the buckets. I think it was like $5. And then I went up to the people and asked them if I could empty out their shop vac of all the sawdust. And the dude looked at me like I had 6 heads, and it felt pretty awkward, but I had enough sawdust for the rest of my life. Oh, and another thing that you can do with the flock is if you get this stuff, this moss, you can buy it at the hobby stores, or you can get it at like, honestly, anywhere. I think most places sell this. Well, not anywhere, but I think you can get it at like any store that sells plants usually has this, or you can get it at hobby stores. You can take these big things, this, cover it in paint, and then just dip it in your flock, and then you have these kind of like weird cyborg looking plants. And if you do like the fluorescent and UV paint, they look kind of cool. So, you know that super exciting moment when you finish a project you've been working on for a long time and you're just genuinely excited and you want to show someone? Well, I captured that on film. But apparently I had muted the microphone, and since it wasn't a Teams call, there was nobody to say, "Hey Scott, you're on mute." But you know, that same fire, that same, you know, giddy excitedness, pretty much gone. Well, I mean, it's not gone. I mean, I still like this, but you know, it's just not the same. But there's a couple of things about this, making this playable, that I wanted to point out that I think are pretty cool. So if I have a Mini right here, one of the things that I like is, you know, when I'm looking at it straight down, I don't know if this is, I can never tell which one it's looking at, so I think, but if I'm looking at it straight down, let's say, you know, I had some adventurers that were coming up the stairs with these little things on the side. You know, if I have a Mini that's out, I can actually see them, but technically I could put a Mini right here and you wouldn't be able to see them. So I could just say that somebody's hiding behind this pillar and they wouldn't actually know, which is, I think is kind of cool. And then another thing that, you know, I think you could do with these side things is, let's say you have the adventurers run into an NPC that says, you know, once the bridge starts shaking, make sure you get out of the main walkway. And so you like say like, oh, the bridge shakes. And so everyone has one round to get over here. And then like a giant boulder the size of this rolls through and like just blasts everybody. So then you have like a reason to like kind of move out of the way. I made these little hidey holes. If you can see inside, you probably can't see inside. It's probably too dark, but there are 1-inch squares in there. So you can actually use them, and they open on both sides so you can see all the way through. And you can like take a little Mini, little guy, little goblin boy, stick him in there, and then yeah. And then one thing I think I'm gonna potentially add it later, I don't have it right now, but if I get some industrial staples, I'll probably like put them like right there so that you have like, you know, little guy come out and then you climb like a little ladder and he comes over, he's like, haha. So yeah, that's it.